Broadcasting live. It's America's longest running talk show on computers. It's Computer America, bringing you the biggest names in technology with guest interviews, new products, and your emails. Listen live at computeramerica.com on any device around the world. Email the show at live@computeramerica.com or find us on social media. Be sure to check out our website for contests, giveaways, show notes, live video stream, podcasts, and more. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. We are the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers and technology. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Ben Crossman, and everyone out there, how you doing? Welcome into the program today. Hope you're doing well and you are ready for some computer and technology news, because that's what we have for the entire hour. We will be doing news, and wow, do we have a lot. You know, we're staring down the barrel of about 20 to 30. So it's going to be a lot of stories. We're going to try to get through them as efficiently as possible, try to keep you up to date. And then, of course, tomorrow on the program, we will have Darius Derek-Shani. So today news, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone, welcome into the program. ComputerAmerica.com, that's where you'll find everything, including the show notes. It will have all the links that you need. It will have all the articles that we show, all the videos that we see, everything and anything that we talk about here today will be in the show notes. So be sure to check that out. And let's see, so there's that, and there's also a live video portion where you can watch Computer America. You can also watch us on twitch.tv/ of course, Computer America. And yeah, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and get things started. So here we go, computer and technology news, and that is brought to you by Computer America. Okay, so I think for our first story, and we have a lot of them, let's have something fun, and let's go ahead and talk about, well, what's more fun than raising the dead? And by raising the dead, I don't mean any kind of weird necromancy, but more Toys R Us. Hey, you know the one with, let's see, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. I keep wanting to say Jerry the Giraffe, but it is totally not Jerry the Giraffe. But yeah, so Toys R Us, obviously they went out of business a year or two ago, huge liquidation. They had a lot of stores that went out of business, and overall it was pretty messy. So now it looks like the parent company is planning to open 2 permanent stores. So a little bit of a resurgence. This is not one in every city like it used to be, but hey, at least it's something. And you can check it out here. There's an image of what they are going to look like. Yeah, it's not going to be a Toys R Us like you remember. It's going to be a Toys R Us for essentially the mall. And hey, you know, I guess when you talk about a good, solid business plan, what better way to make sure that you stay relevant than to get into commercial malls? Now, the article, this is from Engadget, saying Toys R Us returns with Steam workshops and smaller stores. And by Steam, I do not mean the game distribution platform. Instead, I mean essentially STEM with an A being art. So it's no longer STEM. It looks like they're trying to push Steam. Now, this is by Christine Fisher, saying, in time for the holidays, Toys R Us parent company True Kids is planning to open 2 permanent stores. And this time around, the stores will include things like theaters for movies and video games, STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. They will include workshops and a treehouse where kids can play. To pull it off, True Kids is partnering with tech retailer B8TA, which is Beta, I guess would be the way to pronounce that. So the first stores will be in Houston and Paramus, New Jersey. It will be about 6,500 square feet, significantly smaller than the usual stores that were about 30,000 square feet. I think everyone remembers what Toys R Us used to be. These are going to be much, much smaller. And they said that brands will have the option to pay to show off their products in playground-like environments, so advertising directly to kids. Hooray. And they'll be able to engage directly with customers, saying that, quote, "We have an incredible opportunity to entirely reimagine Toys R Us brand in the U.S." And that is, again, the CEO of True Kids, who owns Toys R Us. Now, they said that this isn't the first time that Beta, which will own 50% of the venture, has helped a struggling retailer. It stepped in to help Macy last summer, and in addition to offering experiential retail, it will provide True Kids with access to improved data and analytics. If all goes well, the partners hope to open more stores across the U.S. And yeah, hey, we'll definitely see what what they actually come out with, but I don't know. This is I don't know. So obviously the partnership is between True Kids and Beta, and it's a negotiating tool as it tries to woo back the brand that felt burned by the Toys R Us bankruptcy to sell in its stores. So essentially, this is Toys R Us's way, or at least the parent company behind Toys R Us, to figure out how to get all those companies that were selling products, how to get them back, I guess. And I guess it's not the easiest thing. So here we go. And actually, I found this headline, tracing back to the source from MSNBC and, well, actually CNBC. And I found this one as well. I like talking about the stock sometimes, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So what's happening with Microsoft? That's a good question. Microsoft, their earnings report came out saying that their quarterly earnings, well, they're higher than expected. And actually a significant bit higher, which is great for Microsoft because Microsoft isn't always at the receiving end of really, really good news. It's, when you are the largest company or one of the largest companies, it's hard to really shine. Everyone just kind of expects the best from you already. But it looks like they were able to do it. So this is from CNBC saying that, Microsoft earnings, they earned about $1.37 a share versus an expected $1.21, which is great. That's actually a lot higher when you consider, the percentages. So they said that in the quarter, which ended June 30th, Microsoft acquired Express Logic, announced Azure Public Cloud updates, and introduced Xbox console that had no disk drive. All very important announcements. Saying heading into earnings, analysts of Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, and a couple other, analysts, signaled that they were expecting to annualize Azure growth to fall about 68%, which would be the lowest level in at least 4 years. The moderating Azure growth is more about the law of large numbers than falling demand. Because obviously, if you already service 40% of the market and 100% of the market is already being served, well, demand can only grow so much. Now, they said they rate Microsoft as a buy, wrote in a note distribution to clients on Sunday. And with that being said, they highlighted the quarterly PC shipment data, which we are always interested in, that the IDC released last week suggested that a 4.7% year-over-year growth, partly in thanks to increased Intel chip supply. Saying that we have viewed these better than expected results as a modest tailwind for Microsoft Windows business for the quarter. Shares of Microsoft are up about 33% since the beginning of 2019. So Microsoft doing really, really well, which is great to see. And also great to see, something I really enjoy is the fact that PC sales are up about 5%, which go back just a couple of years, you were looking at the boom of the tablet and the smartphone, that kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that the smartphone is still very much outselling a traditional PC, but PCs were, we were talking about the death of the PC, the end of the PC. Is the PC over thanks to laptops and tablets and smartphones and so on and so forth? We weren't really sure if that industry was going to be able to sustain itself. And now we're looking again at 4.7 year-over-year growth. So That's a pretty good growth. That's a pretty good growth rate, and means that people are indeed still interested in owning personal computers for whatever it is they may be doing. So very, very nice to see. Now, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. So we have a lot of different articles here. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about something you probably weren't expecting, because I sure as heck wasn't expecting this either. And how many times on the program do I get to talk about Pampers? Yes, the diaper. Pampers gets into the smart diapers with Lumi. Yeah, smart diapers. Another one to add to the mental checklist of going through smart devices. I now have to add smart diapers to the mental list. And this is by Devendra Hardawar, saying that it's an all-in-one system for taking care of your newborn. How did parents ever do this before technology? I'll never know. But the smart diaper wars have truly begun. Who knew? Today, saying that Pampers unveiled Lumi. And by the way, if you want to look this up, Lumi, Lumi, an all-in-one connected system that includes 2 activity sensors for diapers, a Logitech camera fashioned into a Wi-Fi baby monitor, and an app that wraps everything together. Now, they said that it follows Huggies' adoption of the Monit smart diaper sensor in Korea, but Pampers, perhaps aware that a smart diaper alone isn't enough to entice consumers, it's aiming for something a bit more expansive, saying that the Lumi system is meant to make an infant's first year easier for parents by delivering as much data as possible. And immediately, you go in to think, man, it's great if parents have access to data, as in when your kid is going to be, or you could look at the data that's automatically collected, see it in a hopefully very well visualized chart, and say, okay, the kid is sleeping from this to this. This is when I need to put it down for naps. This is when it's using the diapers. We need to check more often here, and there. Overall, yeah, data can definitely help parents, but is that data strictly being used by the parents? Is that data being collected by Pampers? Is that data collected by Logitech, who again manufactures the webcam part of the system? Who has access to the data? Because it's not just going to be the parents. So in addition to telling you when the diaper's been used, Pamper Activity Sensor can also track your baby's sleep, something that the authors always found tough to do manually. Lumi builds on the company's popular Swaddler line, and the sensor keeps an eye on the blue wetness strip outside of the diaper to determine how wet it is. Unfortunately, you'll need to buy a Lumi optimized version of the diaper to use the sensor, as they have larger and more visible wetness strips. Who knew? Saying that that's a shame, since part of the appeal of the other smart diaper sensors, like those by Monit, is that they can be attached to any type of diaper and not just, ones made for this, which would undoubtedly be more expensive. They said that the sensor can't detect, other types of incidents in diapers, so you'll have to, check that for yourself. Now, as for the Wi-Fi monitor, Pampers worked with Logitech to create a smart version of its Circle 2 security camera. And if you haven't seen those, you can see it here on the video portion. Webcam, big circle thing, nothing too impressive. But it's a wide-angle 1080p view of your nursery. It can also measure the temperature and humidity, as so many things can, thanks to sensors. The camera also serves as a hub for the activity sensor, helping it push its information to your Pampers account. When it comes to security, Pampers says it's relying on Logitech's encrypted video platform, and it also suggests ways users can secure their own Wi-Fi networks. Still, all of the potential dangers of Wi-Fi monitors are here. If someone manages to get into your account, they'll have a bird's eye view of your nursery. Yeah, Logitech is a very well-known entity in Wi-Fi cameras and Wi-Fi monitoring and security cameras and things like that. So they have what I would kind of call the basics. They will have encryption. They will have, they'll make sure to monitor your account for any kind of activity they would feel isn't proper access. But if someone logs in with your password and username, there's nothing really Logitech is going to do about that. There's nothing they really can do about that because they'll look like just any other authorized user. And by then, of course, hey, they'll be able to, look into your baby's room. So the heart of the system is Pampers app, which will let you view the trends in your newborn's behavior at a glance. So you can see it here, what it comes with. It's 2 packs of diapers, 2 sensors, the webcam, and of course the app that you would download, and all of that. And of course, all the data would be tracked through the app, and the sensors would be, linked to your smartphone. I'm assuming through Bluetooth. So I take it back. Assuming through Wi-Fi. There you go. So they said that it won't be very useful after your child outgrows them. So typically after 1 year. So there you go. This is the future. I don't know if that's a good future or a bad future where you are smart connecting your baby's diaper, but it's definitely heading that way. And you can be sure that this kind of gadgetry isn't just going to be for babies. Like right now it's babies because in a lot of ways babies can't talk, which is great. You know, they're the perfect test subjects for constant monitoring. But we're looking at the elderly, we're looking at the infirmed, we're looking at babies, some of the most vulnerable, and those who need the most help in our society. But as soon as we discover that, hey, being able to track, young students or young kids, they're going to, that's going to become a thing where we strap them all up with essentially wrist monitors, and then it's going to expand until the point to where we are all wearing these things. Hopefully, it comes to the point where the data that we get from that, including sleep cycles, including diet, including exercise, including, how we spend our time and how best to stay healthy and efficient and things like that. Hopefully, all of that access to data is a really, really good thing. But I guess it's who has access to all that data can really make or break the whole situation. So, anywho, there you go. Connected diapers. Never thought I'd see the day, but hey, I've seen the day. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on. How about a big old oopsie? A big old oopsie daisy. And this happened last Amazon Prime Day. If you were wondering, wow, where the heck are the deals? Well, turns out they're there. They're just accidental. So check this one out. This is by Business Insider and Mary Hanbury saying that Amazon Prime pricing glitch meant people bought thousands of dollars worth of camera gear for about $94. Lucky people. That's great. Well, not great for Amazon, obviously, but great for those people. So a pricing glitch on the Amazon website over Prime Day meant that shoppers saved thousands of dollars on camera gear, saying that one commenter described buying a $3,000 telescope lens for under $100. And yeah, there you go. Saying that according to a photograph and camera news site Petapixel, one shopper noticed a $548 Sony a6000 and 16 to 50 inch millimeter lens bundle was listed on Amazon for about $94. That's a good price. The shopper shared this on Slick Deals on Monday, and the first day of the Prime Deal sales. The post hit the front page, and it wasn't long before comments began flooding in as camera enthusiasts expressed their delight and shared other giant savings. Others, however, said that the deal did not show up, suggesting that there may have been glitches on Amazon's website, which, if you're watching the video portion, you can see the image here. Indeed, a $550 camera is now $95. There you go. So saying literally everything is $94.48. I have bought like $10,000 worth of stuff, and that was like a $900 total. So I guess that was the glitch. Everything was listed at $94.48, regardless on what it was originally supposed to be. Saying that everything on the Prime Day tag on my account is $94.48, and he just bought a $3,000 telescope lens for, you guessed it, $94.48. Let's see. So a bunch of camera gear, including above $2,000, are priced at under $100. Definitely price error and will be canceled for sure. An Amazon representative did not immediately respond to Business Insider's request for comments, but let's go ahead and dig further in, saying that the Sony camera sparked off the slick deal discussion was listed by a third-party merchant for fulfillment by Amazon. This means that Amazon handles the shipping, customer service, and returns for the order. Screenshots of the heavily discounted camera gear shared with Petapixel indicated that some items were being sold and shipped by Amazon itself. There you go. So, they said that some of their orders had already shipped. Others, they're still waiting for confirmation on whether or not Amazon will actually cancel the order. Honestly, if I were Amazon, even though you are one of the most, if not the most, the highest valued company in the world, there's no reason to give away that kind of stuff. Definitely cancel the orders. A glitch is a glitch, and I'm sure that everyone out there who would be very upset that they're not going to get their $3,000 telescope lens for $90, they should know that was obviously a mistake. So, let's see what happens. Obviously, things in transit won't be turned around, but that's big whoopsie. Someone definitely messed up there. Now, let's go ahead and talk about lots of really great articles here. All right, let's do some entertainment news. And for anyone out there who's a fan of, well, you guessed it, Snoopy and the gang, how about this? The Peanuts. They haven't been on the TV for quite a while now, but it turns out that they'll soon be on TV Plus. TV Plus? Yes, Apple TV Plus. There you go. Saying that Apple previews its Peanut series Snoopy in Space. Saying that Charlie Brown and the crew reach Apple TV this fall, in Apple TV Plus this fall. Apple isn't just using, and by the way, hopefully we don't get struck for this, but we're gonna go ahead and just show the video if you're watching the video portion. But yeah, saying that Apple isn't just using the Apollo 11 anniversary to hype up its live action shows. The tech giant has offered an early look at Apple TV Plus Peanuts cartoons with a short trailer for Snoopy in Space. That's right. The clip underscores Snoopy's usual hijinks, but it gives you an idea of what to expect. The title will have Charlie and crew visit NASA, where Snoopy and Woodstock have been chosen for a mission. Of course. So this will all air on the on the fall catalog, obviously. This will air on the fall catalog of Apple TV Plus, and a lot of other shows are coming. Apple definitely spent a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money on content, because if you're going to start competing, and this is what Apple TV Plus is, they're going to start competing with Hulu, Netflix, HBO Go or HBO Now, I should say, and more. So if you are going to go up against these heavy hitters, you have to come out swinging with some big titles. So there you go. You might find yourself scrounging for new material until significantly after the debut. So there's that one, a little bit of entertainment news. How about we go ahead and talk about, I had this other entertainment one here. It was about Plants vs. Zombies. There we go. So back when Plants vs. Zombies came out, and by the way, we had some great interviews with the designers of the whole thing. Plants vs. Zombies 1, they were actually an advertising partner way back when. And Plants vs. Zombies 2, we had a great conversation. And we recently had, by recent I mean the past couple of months, we have the designer of the original Plants vs. Zombies with his new game on to talk about that new game. Anyways, long-term listeners of the show are going to be very familiar with Plants vs. Zombies. Now, I say that because Plants vs. Zombies 3 is on the way. Who knew? Saying that a pre-alpha build has shambled onto Google Play. And for those of you who don't know, Plants vs. Zombies 2 was primarily a mobile game. That's essentially what they turned it into, which is okay. I mean, it took, Plants vs. Zombies 1 was very much a PC game, and Plants vs. Zombies 2 kind of distilled it to its primal essence and put it on a mobile phone. Worked out very well. Now, 6 years after Plants vs. Zombies 2 staggered into the world, the next entry in the series is on the way. PopCap Games is hard at work on Plants vs. Zombies 3, and it's already offering you the chance to, well, pit flora against undead fauna once again. Well written. So a pre-alpha build is available on Google Play. You'll need a device running at least Android 6.0 with specs equivalent or better than a Galaxy S7. Saying that a limited number of spots are available, though PopCap will open up more in phases. Essentially, I think they're doing some obvious initial testing, some player feedback, and of course, some stress testing. And since this is an early version, you'll likely encounter bugs, and it isn't representative of how the full version of Plants vs. Zombies 3 will look. PopCap is seeking feedback on combat for now, and the studio may have to wipe out your progress as it makes changes, saying that there is no formal release date yet for full games. And we see this all the time. You can hire 10, 15 people out there who are on your payroll and sit down and play your buggy game continuously and work out most of the kinks. Or, you have an internal, you have your internal playtesting, that kind of thing. But to really get super good data, nothing beats having thousands of people log in, play your game over and over and over again. It's impossible for your internal testing crew to be able to play as much as the population. So they're going to put out a pre-alpha. They're going to work on it. They're going to fix it as it goes out. And hey, you can help with the newest Plants vs. Zombies. Again, Google Play. Okay, so there's your entertainment news. We have lots of other stories and just breezing right through this, which is great, which is what we wanted to do. How about we talk about, let's see, okay. Kind of in the vein of a couple of stories, 2 stories ago. And remember when I said Amazon had a big oopsie? Well, now it's Uber's turn. Uber had a big mistake. How big of a mistake? Well, about 100 times a big mistake. Uber error charges riders 100 times more than the original price, saying that moving the decimal point has caused some issues. There you go. And this is by Georgina Torbett. And this is by Engadget, saying that an error in Uber's system on Wednesday led people to be charged 100 times what their ride should have cost, saying that one user was charged $2,053 on a ride that should have cost $20.53. The problem first surfaced in Washington, D.C. and San Diego, but have since been reported as far afield as Paris. And I'm sure they mean Paris, the city, and not Paris, Texas. And similar issues have been reported for the Uber Eats service. Some customers received alerts that their bank was about to be, receive alerts from their banks about the charges or had their credit cards put on hold. Yeah, when you're suddenly hit with a very unexpected and a very inconvenient amount, like 100 times whatever you were expecting to spend, yeah, that can cause some problems. Uber says the issue has since been resolved and apologized for the problems, saying that, quote, "We understand that this has been frustrating. There was a known issue that caused our authorization to hold to be very high. Our team has already fixed the issue. Thank you so much for your patience. The inflated fares will be corrected to the right amount, so customers don't need to call their bank to dispute the charges. However, the charges will continue to appear on the credit card or bank statements temporarily. If you don't know how that works, essentially the bank will post the hold amount, which in some cases, like they said, could be up to thousands of dollars. It will post the hold amount for 3 to 5 business days for most banks. So those people are going to have to figure out a way to, hey, if $2,000 is all the money that you had, you have to figure out a way to live without that for a couple of days. Now, they said that customers aren't happy about the charges or the lackluster customer service response. And they have some tweets here saying that so the Uber for the $1,400 charge on my account, and they said that a phone number would be easier than Twitter, don't you think? And so I guess Uber handles everything through Twitter when it comes to customer service. Other people are trying to find a number to call Uber to dispute a charge of about $1,000. Apparently, there is a blue icon on the app to contact 24/7 support, but I can't see the icon, nor can I find a number to call Uber. And yeah, there you go. So lots and lots and lots of different errors, including a gentleman who was charged about $1,700. Yeah, for an Uber ride. Pretty crazy. So, hey, the music in the background means that we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We have tons more stories as we continue on here, computer and technology news. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, we'll be right back and more Computer America right after this. Hey, lots more stories, including Verizon's first 5G hotspot, how much you can buy it for, a bartender that is a completely robotic AI version of itself, and more. Everyone, stay tuned. More Computer America.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-215-4461. 800-215-4461. 800-215-4461. That's 800-215-4461.
We are all Brother Wolf. 10 years ago, a group of locals banded together to create positive change. We took animals into our homes, held adoption events at local retailers, and talked to the community about our mission to help build a no-kill Asheville. A decade later, we have achieved so many victories for animals in need. There's been so much progress, yet there's still so much to do. As part of our year-long celebration, we encourage you to become a member of our special Compassionate Circle program. With a monthly donation of $10 or more, you will have behind-the-scenes access to the work we are doing at Brother Wolf. Our goal is to reach 1,000 members because we receive no government funding. Working together, we can help build and sustain no-kill communities. Learn more at compassionatecircle.bwar.org. We are a 501c3 tax-deductible organization.
And welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 32 minutes past the hour as we continue on here. And everyone, we are doing computer and technology news for the duration of the show. If you missed any part of it, please feel free to check out wherever podcasts are heard, and you can find Computer America right there. Now, everyone, let's go ahead and talk about some other stuff. How about we discuss? So, yeah, we have a lot of different stories that we can kind of cover, and I think we're going to talk about, well, how about something fun? And then we'll get into some serious and Debbie Downer stuff, but this is going to be good. So, for those of you out there who really enjoy having a drink, relaxing at the end of the day, a cocktail, what have you, the worst part is that, hey, sometimes you have to make it yourself. And if you ever wonder, wow, I would totally pay $1,500 so that I don't have to mix my $4 worth of drinks, then, hey, you're in luck. Saying that Barsys, and, you can think of like a bar, B-A-R-S-Y-S, sys, like a system. Barsys, $1,500 robot bartender promises cocktails with AI precision. So maybe after your third or fourth cocktail, you start to get the ratios a bit wrong. Hey, maybe this can, maybe this can work on it for you. So with that being said, we continue on. And so, hey, you can, of course, control the home bar with up to 3 devices at a time. And saying that the Keurig of cocktails, That's a nice way to put it. The Keurig of cocktails concept isn't exactly new, but that's not stopping companies like Barsis from perfecting the robotic bartender. Saying next week, Barsis is launching its robotic cocktail mixer 2.0. Like the original, the next iteration offers automated cocktails and customizable drink recipes. But now you'll be able to control both the machine with you'll be able to control the machine with up to 3 devices at a time, thanks to Bluetooth. And Barsis 2.0 will also use AI to keep drinks consistent. I don't know how AI works into this. I don't know if AI gets sloshed along with you and it parties with you. I don't know what role AI could possibly play in this, but let's find out. They're saying that convenience will cost you, where it will be available for about $1,500, saying that that's quite a jump from the competitors like DrinkWorks, which offer its home bar for about $300. But the company is hoping that Barsis 2.0 might also appeal to bars and restaurants. It claims that Barsis 2.0 could reduce waste with exact pours, and while it doesn't exactly want to replace bartenders, it wouldn't mind freeing them up to interact with customers. I don't know. Exact pours are never really the problem. I mean, liquor in general tends to be a very good profit margin for restaurants. If you're going to make money, you want people sitting at the bar and you want them ordering drinks, because even if the bartender is sloppy, even if they spill, even if they overserve, even if they give people doubles instead of single shots or what have you, you're still making money hand over fist. At the end of the day, you're still making a lot of money. So the thing I like about this is consistency. You get the same drink every single time. That's great. I hope that it works very, very well. You can see what the image of it here looks like. It can store a number of different bottles of alcohol, and it can just kind of do its own thing where it has its own additives and mixers and things like that. I like the idea. I'm just wondering if it's worth the $1,500 price tag. That seems a little extreme. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on now that we have our drinks in hand. All right, so this one's pretty interesting. This happened a little while ago. And by this, I mean, this is, as Engadget reports it, but as more people I'm sure have noticed, Instagram has this problem where we covered it, I think Tuesday, where we talked about the effects of social media on impressionable youth. And Instagram definitely has an audience that skews a bit younger. Well, the idea of clout chasing, I should say. The idea that you need more likes, you need more retweets, you need more shares, or what have you. You need more. That is a very toxic way to encourage people to use your platform, because obviously if they don't get it, and if they don't get enough, if they don't get as much as they used to, if their trajectory isn't on a constant upward slope, they start to feel really bad about themselves. And so Instagram has decided to fight back against that by, how else, hiding hiding their likes that each post gets. And some people like it, and very, very few, and namely influencers, well, they don't. Saying that Instagram launched an experiment for Canadian users in April to try to find out whether hiding like counts can benefit its users. And while the Facebook-owned photo sharing platform hasn't shared the results in the public yet, it's now expanding the experiment, perhaps to be able to gather more data for consideration. The platform is now hiding likes and video views for select users in Australia, Brazil, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and New Zealand, as well as the aforementioned Canada. So, yeah, there you go. They're saying that, as TechCrunch noted, select users will see a banner notifying them about the test, which reads, "We want your followers to focus on what you share, not how many likes your post gets." The platform echoed that sentiment in a tweet. The tweet reading, and this is directly from Instagram, "We want your friends to focus on the photos and videos you share, not how many likes they get. You can still see your own likes by tapping on a list of people who've liked it, but your friends will not be able to see how many likes your post has received." There you go. Testers will still be able to see how many likes they get, but their friends will only get a vague idea. And they said that in the sample images Instagram shared, the line below the post reads, liked by blank user and others. And of course, the others can be one person, 2 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people. You don't know. So with more test regions and accounts participating in the experiment, Instagram may have enough data to show in the future. Maybe they can find a way or maybe they can find out if hiding likes has a way of affecting users in a good way, and maybe a behavior to stop them from comparing the number of likes they get with the value of themselves, which I hope they do, because a lot of people do it. But again, I think a lot of people who don't see Instagram as a business are perfectly fine with that. But a lot of people who see Instagram as their business, like influencers and what have you, they're not the biggest fan, because they like that they've cultivated such a large audience, and they like that they can be the number one, currently. So, hey, hiding that is not good for them. And of course, it's not in the US yet. Now, let's go ahead and continue on. This is a sentiment, and this is by The Verge. This is a sentiment I see here often. Well, not here among our audience, but just kind of online. Netflix is losing beloved shows, subscribers, and confidence. So Netflix reported earnings on Wednesday night, and the results were disastrous. The company saw its first major loss in U.S. subscribers last quarter, and a mere 2.7 million paid customers added globally, nearly half of what was forecasted. Stocks dropped more than 10% just after the report came out. It's a terrifying slowdown for a service that is based on subscriber growth, and raises new question about how long the company can justify its content spending spree. So on a call after the release, Netflix executives emphasized international markets where subscriber growth is still healthy. Nearly all the company's new subscribers were from international markets, and according to CEO Reed Hastings, there's still plenty of room to grow there. Saying, quote, there are 700 million households that pay for TV outside of China, the equivalent of the US 100 million. And they said that that's one established market. Do we have enough content in each of those countries? The internet is capable of some very large customer bases. Netflix executives also spent a significant portion of their call talking about India, where the company expects significant growth. Netflix is about to launch 5 new original series for India, some of which may be marketed to audiences in the US and Europe as well. You can see with some of Netflix's recent debuts, they're really trying to advertise to outside the US, or even inside the US to certain segments of the population, including Chinese Americans in China. They also have some here saying that they have 3 particular shows, including one for Germany, one for Denmark, and one for Sweden, saying that they have all found big audiences outside of their native region. Each show has amassed between 12 and 15 million global viewers, adding that although they've been deeply relevant in the home country and traveled the region very, very well. Now, at the same time, the company is facing a steeper path than ever in the United States. And here's the problem. So this is what I really wanted to get to when talking about Netflix, is that whenever people talk about Netflix, Netflix kind of got their foothold by licensing other people's content. And by that, I mean a lot of Disney content, a lot of Fox content. You can think of things like The Office, you can think of things like Friends, or Futurama, or whatever it is that your favorite show may be. Netflix licensed a lot of them. But now, hey, all of their competitors, including Warner Media, Disney, Apple, of course Hulu, who is owned by NBC and Fox, and a lot more. I mean, Hulu is essentially all of the major cable providers. And then on top of that, you have HBO and all their content. everyone has their own streaming platform, or within the next year will have their own streaming platform. And that includes, services like Stars and Showtime and things like that. They have their own as well. So they said that Netflix currently has 60 million paying domestic subscribers and believes that they could get to 90 million, but the risk of market saturation is real and raises difficult questions of the company's content strategy. And the content strategy is, I can see where they say that that's a problem. Netflix makes content not from the goodness of their heart, not because they want to, not because they have any kind of altruistic, artistic expression that they're trying to push, although I'm sure they would love to claim that. They make content to get subscribers. If they have the next big show that everyone has to binge, if they make the next Game of Thrones, if they have the next Breaking Bad, if they have the next perfect show, then everyone needs to get a Netflix account and their subscriber numbers are going to go up and stay healthy as long as they have content to provide their customers. A lot of their content, like I said, is being distributed among everyone who's starting their own business, and the fact that, hey, no one wants to make a deal with Netflix anymore. Netflix had to pay, what was it, like $100 million to license Friends, and trust me, no one knows Netflix's data other than Netflix. If they felt that Friends was justifiable to rent, if a 20-year-old sitcom needed to be rented for $100 million, then it had to happen. It's just no one wants to make deals with Netflix, and whatever deals Netflix can actually make, well, they're going to be very painful for them to do. So that's why you see them trying to produce their own content. So Netflix's subscriber spiral reveals a dangerous decapitating of their growth strategy. Investors can expect to see a near insane level of development spending overseas, where, like we said, they're looking to grow elsewhere because obviously the US, hey, they said it, market saturation, plenty of options to choose from. And unfortunately, if you subscribe to Netflix for any of the previous shows that were since canceled, if you have to watch them, you probably have to go to another streaming service. It's not Netflix's fault. Netflix would love to have all the content on their service. It's just the people who own the content would rather you go to them and cut Netflix out of the middle. Now, Netflix is losing a number of heavily watched licensed series, including Friends and The Office, to competitors Warner Media and NBC Universal, respectively. A lack of enticing originals, which plagued the company's most recent quarter and helped contribute to a loss of 130,000 subscribers, will continue to grow unless Netflix can ramp up production. As part of the company's plan, permanent studio sets have been purchased for Netflix to produce films and TV shows faster. So obviously they don't have to, keep essentially putting the money out there for other people to produce the content. It looks like Netflix is going to be just like any other large content manufacturer. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and, let's go ahead and skip through this a little bit more. All that adds up to an increased focus on international content, even for US users. And as we said, Netflix is reportedly spending more than $15 billion this year on content alone. The company wants to fight to keep your attention. It's just clear from their earnings that the fight is getting tougher than ever. So here's one last point I want to make about this whole thing before we move on, is that Netflix is having a tough time. I get that. That is perfectly expected. Yes, they're having a tough time. But one thing that they don't highlight here is that everyone else, including Hulu and Showtime, HBO, what have you, they're having an equally tough time. They never had the foothold that Netflix did. They never had the content library that Netflix did. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in Amazon Video as well. But Netflix has a lot to lose because it was so far ahead of everyone else. And if Netflix is struggling right now, it's not because someone else is outperforming Netflix. It's that they are segmenting the market so much that I'm not sure if Netflix can't make it, I'm not sure that anyone can. And this is not good news for really any of the streaming services. So as bad as this news is for Netflix, I would love to see the numbers, these kinds of numbers from Hulu, from all the other streaming services. Are they even turning a profit, let alone increasing their spending? I would really love to see that. But hey, competition is also good, so I'm not knocking it. Okay, so let's go ahead and, all right, so one of the stories that we mentioned earlier, we should probably get to as well, Verizon and 5G. If you're wondering, wow, when is 5G going to finally come to my area? The sad part is, it probably won't for a good long while. 5G is just, it's just really hard to deploy. It's, in large cities, you're going to be able to do it. 5G is very, very short ranged, but it's very high powered. So you need a new 5G antenna about every 2 blocks, I think they said, like 2 or 5 blocks or something like that. Very tightly packed when it comes to urban living. Which, hey, it's, when you consider the fact that you need the land to put up a tower, and in a city where every square inch is already claimed, yeah, you're going to have a very hard time figuring out where to put these towers. So deployment's going to be, kind of slow. But now enter Verizon with their first 5G hotspot, and they say it's about a $500 charge with a 2-year contract. That's right. Saying that Verizon has unveiled that the latest device that connects to its 5G network, the Inseego MiFi M1000, is the first 5G hotspot available through Verizon. It costs about $650 up front, which is a lot. If that's a little out of your price range, there's a payment plan through which you can pick up the hotspot for about $27 for 24 months. And of course, it's also available, like they said, for $500 through a 2-year contract. You'll be able to pay for your data as well. If you add the M1000 to an unlimited phone plan, 50 gigabytes for, of 5G and 15 gigabytes of 4G LTE data hotspot. And of course, it's throttled after you hit those limits. So it's not really unlimited phone plan, 50 gigs, but hey, that's something. And it costs about $30 a month. Otherwise, connected device plans start at about $85 a month. So it's a small device. It will run 24 hours on a single battery charge, while its touchscreen will help you manage passwords and settings. You can also view your data usage there. The M1000 joins 4 other devices that are currently compatible with 5G, the network, and you can see them all here. And essentially the Samsung Galaxy S10, the V50 Thin Q, the Moto Z3 and Z4 as well. So that's the thing. You can go out and buy this 5G antenna right now. Unless your phone has a 5G antenna built into it, it won't be able to take advantage of it. So you're probably going to have to wait until the next iPhone if you stick with iPhone, or get the latest Samsung Galaxy S10 if you are looking to do that. And everyone else, probably within the year, should have their own 5G compatible phone. So if you don't have one of those, don't even worry about it. This is something that's honestly, unless you're a business that really wants a 5G hotspot for productivity, it's not going to be that big of an issue for you. Now, we continue on here. Lots of other stories. Not a lot of time to do them. How about we talk about... Okay, how about we talk about this one? FaceApp. Some news in here that I didn't even know. So FaceApp, they said that, this is from CNN Business, by the way, FaceApp's viral success proves we will never take our digital privacy seriously. There you go. So, yeah, I didn't even know this. That in early 2017, a service called FaceApp received a wave of press using artificial intelligence to transform pictures of faces, making them look older or younger, male or female, or adding a smile to appear happier. We've seen some of these before, and especially the, what you look like older, that has really happened overnight. Like people are continuing to use that, often. So this week, FaceApp once again made headlines as celebrities, including the Jonas Brothers, Drake, and Dwayne Wade, appear to use the app to show what they might look like when they get much older. Enough people rushed to download the app to see their own selfies turn gray that FaceApp is currently the top free app in Apple's App Store. So by Wednesday morning, however, there were growing privacy concerns about the app, as one breathless headline in a New York tabloid put it, Russians now own all of your old photos. Essentially what they're saying there is that you give permissions when you download these apps. You give permission that they can control the microphone, the camera, they can look through your photo library, and all of that data is then sent to their servers. And of course, one thing that happens is the AI processing that will add wrinkles, turn your hair gray. It will essentially age your photo. So they'll definitely do what they advertise that they're doing. But at the same time, you are turning over your data, you are turning over your location, you are turning over your metadata on all of your photos, all of that. All of that is being sent to a company based in St. Petersburg, Russia. And when you consider how very popular this app is, this should raise at least some alarm bells. So the FaceApp episode highlights now, after more than a year of high-profile privacy scandals in the tech industry, consumers still don't adequately scrutinize services before handing over their personal data. At the same time, it's a reminder of how little we understand about companies that collect our information and what rights they have to it. So the developer who first raised alarms about FaceApp and other security researchers later knocked down the initial fear that FaceApp is covertly harvesting your entire smartphone camera roll. Likewise, the fact that a company is based in Russia doesn't automatically mean it's a tool of the Russian government. True. Which you can see with Kaspersky Labs, saying that most images are deleted from our servers within 48 hours of the upload date, and that's what the company said about the privacy concerns. And they said that what remains concerning, however, is that the language of the app's terms of service, in one densely worded section, the company informs users that they grant FaceApp a perpetual, non-exclusive, royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid, transferable, sub-licensable license to use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create derivative works from, distribute, publicly perform, and display your user content and any name, username, or likeness provided in connection with your user content in all media formats and channels now known or later developed without compensation to you. Yep, that means that if you upload a selfie and whatever pops back out, if something really funny, if something really awesome, if something really viral comes out of their app, they have exclusive and perpetual rights to use those images. I mean, yeah, so they have a translation here on CNN Business. FaceApp can effectively do what it wants with your selfie. But this puts FaceApp in pretty good company, saying that other prominent tech companies have the same thing, and really it's kind of a legal way so that you can't upload a copyrighted photo and say, oh, now Facebook owes me $10 because they've downloaded my photo. No, it's just their way of saying, hey, if you give it to us, you give the rights to that photo to us. Yeah, there you go. And of course, Facebook says that if you share a photo on Facebook, you give us permission to store, copy, and share it with others. And yet we keep sharing first and asking questions later, if we even ask them at all. So there you go. Tech companies certainly deserve criticism for their data privacy policies, but of course, so do we being the consumers. And really, this highlights to me that consumers don't consider their face or the data that comes out of their phone to really be all that important. That's really what it kind of shows me. So I think we're going to go ahead and kind of end the day here with one more piece of entertainment news. If you are a fan of Overwatch, of course, manufactured by Blizzard, check this one out. This one's pretty cool. This is actually what matchmaking has needed for quite a while now. Overwatch's new role queue features lets you play the hero you want. So the sub-headline, so long goats of course being 3 support, 3 tank, but now looks like you yeah, you're going to be playing the role that you select, which is great. Today, the company is announcing a role queue, a feature that lets you choose what kind of character you want to play as, whether it's support, tank, or damage, before heading into a match. Blizzard said that the new feature is designed to create an environment that fosters teamwork and encourages players to bring their very best to every match, which, by the way, is great. So, of course, like they said, Blizzard said that it's meant to improve match quality, give players more control over their gameplay experience, and provide more positive social experiences between teammates. But of course, hey, it means that it can be a bit of a drag, as damage heroes are, of course, some of the most fun, but with a forced 2-2-2 team composition, this shouldn't be an issue anymore. So, with that being said, everyone, we are going to go ahead and call it there. If you want to find out more about Computer America, you can, of course, check us out, computeramerica.com. And in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad that you could join us. Tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. But of course, we will have Derek Shawnee. Everyone, catch us then. Have a great one. Bye-bye.